Hey everybody, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, my name is Dave. This is my 2004 C5 Corvette. So if you're into Corvette content, especially C5 content, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Now this weekend's been full with a bunch of projects. We are putting new pads and rotors on the car, which are already done. I am also painting the brakes, so I'm painting the calipers and the bracket. The brackets are already painted gloss black, but the purpose of today's video is to put wheel spacers on the car. Hopefully that will push out the wheels to be more or less flush with the fenders. These are 20mm in the front, and I also got 20mm for the back. I know a bunch of guys are putting 1-inch spacers on the back, which is 25mm. Could not find a decent black set. These are black, so I just want to keep them black. So today we are going to be cutting down the wheel studs in order for the wheels to fit on here, because the wheels do not have a space where these wheel studs would fit in. So this is the back of the wheel hub. You can see that there is no indent here. Some wheels do have a little indent so that you wouldn't have to cut your wheel studs all the way back, but these are the stock C5 wheels. I forget what year they started these, maybe in like 2000, something like that. These are the thin 5 spokes. These are plastic dip black. Before you just go ahead and start grinding these studs off, you do want to put the nuts on here that came with the kit. You want to put those on there so when you do grind the studs down, when you back these off, it'll help re-thread the end of that. If you don't do that, it's just going to be a little bit more difficult to eventually get these nuts on. So put them on first, then you'll be able to take them off and everything will be fine. So I'm going to get into removing about 3 to 4 threads per stud. I'm just using a angle grinder. This is a Drill Master. I believe this is from Harbor Freight, the metal grinder wheel. So let's get into cutting these studs off. Alright, so now with all those ground down, just go ahead and we take these off. I ended with that one, so this one isn't hot anymore. But you see that it starts to get a little hard to remove. So you just twist that back and forth, that nut, and it puts the thread back into the end of that. And then you're good to go. Alright, so there's that one. Then you're just going to work your way around and do all of them. Alright, and then after you get those off, we'll go ahead, we'll throw our spacer back on, just to make sure that we took off enough material. Now just looking at it, I will tighten these up, but it looks like maybe just this one here I have to just take off a hair more, maybe even this one too, but not much, just a hair. So let's go ahead and we'll tighten all these back on. See how much easier they are to they're easy to thread on now that, you know, we came back off it. So this is a close-up after I remove the studs, just to see, you know, how close we are to being flush with the edge of the spacer. As you can see, like, I probably have to take off just a hair on that one. And, you know, you may have to go back and forth with these a few times. You don't want to take off too much, because you still need a little bit of the stud on there for when, you know, you do have to crank these down. So it looks like I just have to take a little bit off of this one, and maybe that one. But that should be about it. And then these will be good to go back on. So I'm not going to show you. You just take this back off again, just grind these down. Alright, so before you put your wheel spacer on there, you just want to go ahead and you want to goop a little bit of anti-seize on the back of that. Let's throw that on there. And I already had some anti-seize on the threads themselves, so I'm not going to be reapplying that. There's already enough on there. And then just begin tightening all these down. Now, and then these are going to be tightened down to 80 foot-pounds. And then once you do that, once you drive this a few times, you do just want to go back in here and just double check, just to make sure that these are still tightened down to 80 foot-pounds. They should be. There's no reason why they shouldn't be. And then one thing you're going to have to do, once you do try and tighten these, right, just for instance, but once you start cranking on these, you know, your front wheel's going to want to spin, obviously. So you're going to have to just depress the brake, or put a breaker bar in here, whatever you prefer to use, in order to stop the hub from spinning so that you can get your proper torque specs. Alright, so that's it. That's how you put wheel spacers on your car. Obviously now you have to repeat this to all the other wheels. I'm not going to show you how to do that. It's the same process for all of them. So now let's throw the tires on and let's see if I got the correct fitment that I was hoping for. I know I'm probably going to get the fitment that I want on the front. We'll see how the fitment is on the back with the 3/4 compared to the 1-inch that a lot of guys do recommend. So let's get to throwing the wheels on. So this is how the car's sitting after a little under 100 miles. I believe we still need to go lower on the lowering bolts. Let me know what you guys think, but I think it definitely needs to be lowered a little bit. So I just want to give you a little comparison here. I will put up some better before and after videos right after this, but the fitment up front is pretty good, and even in the back, I mean, that is pretty solid for, again, 3/4 in the rear and 3/4 in the front. A lot of guys do go with 1-inch in the rear, but I think the 3/4 actually looks pretty good. But again, if you go lower with some either aftermarket bolts or coilovers, maybe that would affect how these would fit. Alright guys, so that's going to do it. This was just a quick video on putting some wheel spacers on your stock C5 Corvette with stock wheels. Obviously, if you're going to go with aftermarket wheels, get the correct offset. Don't even bother with spacers. But if you wanted to just space out the stock wheels a little bit more, that's an easy, cost-effective solution on how to do it. And again, just gives it a little bit of that wider look. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Thank you and have a great day.